Welcome to Spaceverse, your portal to cosmic adventures. On September 29, 2022, the James Webb Space Telescope captured a series of images that sent shockwaves through the scientific community and challenged long-held theories about the early universe. Designed to peer deeper into space and further back in time than any telescope before it, JWST revealed something truly unexpected: galaxies that appeared astonishingly well-formed, massive, and structured, despite existing only a few hundred million years after the Big Bang. These galaxies, some of the oldest and most distant ever observed, defied expectations. According to the standard model of cosmology, scientists anticipated finding small, chaotic, and primitive galaxies, essentially cosmic infants still in the early stages of formation. Instead, what they saw resembled cosmic elders, galaxies that looked mature, with well-defined shapes and an abundance of stars, as if they had billions of years of growth behind them. This surprising discovery has led astronomers to question whether their current understanding of galaxy formation and the timeline of the universe's evolution is incomplete or even fundamentally flawed. The possibility that galaxies formed much faster and earlier than previously believed could reshape our view of the cosmos and prompt a reevaluation of the very foundations of astrophysics and cosmology. According to the widely accepted cosmological model, such complex structures should take billions of years to form. So how did these galaxies become so advanced so quickly? Researchers are still searching for a definitive explanation. Interestingly, American philosopher William Lane Craig and others see these discoveries as potential evidence of divine creation. They argue that the galaxies defy evolutionary expectations because they weren't evolving. They were created in their current form by a higher power. At first, this might sound far-fetched. Can science really offer proof of God? Before dismissing the idea, you might want to hear the surprising insights I uncovered. They just might change your perspective. And here's the big question: can we actually prove that God exists? Well, here's something wild to think about. Everything we see, planets, stars, galaxies, cosmic dust, and even us humans, makes up only about 5% of the entire universe. That's it. Just a tiny sliver. The rest? It's made up of things we can't even see or directly detect. Scientists call it dark matter and dark energy, and together they account for a whopping 95% of the universe. Dark matter is believed to be this invisible substance that doesn't emit light or energy, but it has mass, and we know it's there because of the way it tugs on galaxies and bends light through gravity. Then there's dark energy, which is even more mysterious. It's thought to be this force that's driving the expansion of the universe faster and faster, almost like it's pushing everything apart. But here's the kicker: even with all our advanced telescopes and instruments, we haven't directly observed either one. We can't touch them, see them, or trap them in a lab. They're still just theories, highly supported by math and observation, sure, but theories nonetheless. So the truth is, we're living in a universe where 95% of what's out there is still a cosmic mystery. Kinda makes you wonder what else we haven't discovered yet. Back in the 20th century, scientists had to come up with these concepts to make Einstein's general theory of relativity work. Without them, the math just didn't add up. Fast forward to today, deep beneath Italy's Gran Sasso Mountains, scientists are working in a high-tech underground lab trying to catch these mysterious dark matter particles. Picture this: a massive tank filled with 3.5 tons of liquid xenon. Yes, the same stuff used in fancy lamps and car headlights. They're hoping that one day, just one dark matter particle will interact with the liquid and trigger their detectors. But after decades of searching, they haven't found a single particle. Still, they keep going because Einstein's theory depends on it. And as if that wasn't enough, there's still something even bigger that science can't explain. Back in 1998, the Hubble Space Telescope made a discovery that flipped everything on its head. Galaxies weren't just drifting apart, they were speeding away from each other faster and faster. This stunned astronomers. What could possibly be fueling this cosmic acceleration? They gave it a name: dark energy. But the truth is, it's still a huge mystery, and every attempt to explain it seems to open up even more questions. There's a well-known idea in cosmology called the Kalam argument, which says that everything that exists must have a cause. We know that everything in the universe came from something before it. But then, what caused the universe to exist in the first place? What triggered the Big Bang? While scientists continue to debate that, many people believe the answer is clear. It was God. And that idea isn't new. In fact, there's an ancient legend from the indigenous people of Australia that tells a beautiful version of creation. According to their mythology, God sang the world into existence with 3 sacred songs. These melodies were so powerful, they shaped the land itself, forming mountains, rivers, and valleys with sound. Whether through science or song, the origin of the universe continues to inspire awe and endless curiosity. Ancient Australians even tried to capture this idea through their symbols that, interestingly enough, look a lot like how modern scientists mark earthquakes on seismic charts. Coincidence? Maybe not. At the same time, ancient Hindu traditions placed deep importance on the sacred sound Om, believed to be the primordial vibration that gave rise to all creation. And in Christianity, the Bible begins with the powerful line, "In the beginning was the Word." When you put all these stories side by side, it almost feels like different cultures were describing the same profound truth, just in their own unique ways. It's as if the universe itself was brought into being through divine sound, or scientifically speaking, through vibrations and resonance. What's even more mind-blowing? Modern science is totally on board with this idea. Today, physicists believe that everything in the universe vibrates at its own unique resonant frequency. Think of it like pushing a child on a swing. If you time your push just right, the swing goes higher and higher. But if your timing is off, even a little, it won't work as well. That perfect rhythm? That's resonance in action. And it doesn't stop there. Light? It's a wave in the visible spectrum. Sound? Vibrations moving through air or water. Even magnetic fields come from electromagnetic waves. In short, the universe may very well be singing, and we're only just starting to hear the melody. These days, you can visit science museums and see fascinating experiments where sound waves at specific frequencies cause sand to form beautiful, intricate patterns. It's hypnotic to watch, and it makes you wonder, what if ancient civilizations witnessed this same phenomenon by chance, and that's why they held sound in such high regard? But it's not just ancient myths that hint at a deep understanding of resonance. Some ancient structures might hold clues as well. Back in 2003, a pilot named Johan Hein came across a massive stone formation while flying over South Africa. It was later dubbed Adam's Calendar. Researcher Michael Tellinger believes this site could be as old as 300,000 years, far older than most known man-made structures. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Adam's Calendar is positioned on what's known as a natural magnetron. Now, normally a magnetron is a man-made device used to generate strong electromagnetic waves, like the ones inside your microwave. But in rare spots around the world, similar electromagnetic activity happens naturally, right from the Earth itself. Could ancient builders have understood this energy? Maybe even used it? That's the mystery that continues to spark curiosity. These are what we now call cymatic patterns, stone circles that appear in regions of the Earth where vibrations are especially strong. And remarkably, their shapes closely resemble the designs of modern-day magnetrons. It's in these high vibration zones that ancient civilizations didn't just build Adam's Calendar, they also constructed countless other massive stone complexes around the world. Today, many researchers believe these places were used as spiritual or religious centers. But here's a deeper question. Were our ancestors trying to literally connect with the divine through resonance, tuning into what they believed was the universe's original language? Or maybe they saw resonance itself as a form of God? This brings us to another powerful symbol, the Sacred Heart, one of the most revered emblems in Catholicism. According to tradition, it became a central object of worship in the 17th century after a French nun, Margaret Mary Alacoque, had a profound spiritual experience during prayer. She claimed that Jesus appeared to her and revealed his heart. But the closer she looked, the more she realized it had no end. It was infinite, just like Christ's love for humanity. Here's where things get really fascinating, because what ancient mystics described through visions and symbols, modern mathematicians have also encountered. In the language of numbers. In the 1970s, a brilliant French-American mathematician named Benoit Mandelbrot made a striking observation. Traditional geometry, the kind we learn in school, is elegant, yes, but it doesn't reflect the messy, wild shapes of the natural world. Think about it. Mountains aren't perfect cones. Lightning doesn't strike in straight lines. And clouds definitely don't float around as neat little spheres. Nature, it turns out, plays by its own set of rules. At the heart of these rules is something called self-similarity, patterns that repeat themselves, no matter the scale. This concept led Mandelbrot to explore a whole new kind of structure, which he called fractals. Using seemingly random white noise data, he discovered a now iconic image in mathematics, the Mandelbrot set. When visualized, it reveals a mysterious and beautiful shape, one that, intriguingly, resembles the Sacred Heart of Jesus. In this image, the black regions represent numbers that belong to the Mandelbrot set, while the vibrant colors show numbers that don't. But the real magic? Zoom in infinitely, and the pattern keeps reappearing. Again, and again, and again. It's an infinite blueprint embedded in math, nature, and maybe something beyond. So the big question remains, how did this level of organization and beauty arise from pure chaos? Coincidence? Or something greater? One person who set out to answer this question was Jason Lisle, an American astrophysicist. Raised in a Christian family, he often struggled to reconcile his faith with his scientific pursuits. But over time, he made an interesting discovery. When sacred texts like the Bible are viewed through the lens of science, they actually complement modern theories in ways you might not expect. In 2021, Lisle published a book called Fractals: The Secret Code of Creation, where he argued that fractals, those infinitely repeating patterns we see in nature, could be proof that our world was designed by a perfect divine force. And here's where it gets really mind-bending. Lisle suggests that if we think of God not as an old man on a throne, but as a collection of perfect mathematical formulas, then it's possible for him to always be near us, just like the Bible says. After all, fractals are everywhere. They're in the galaxies, in the neurons in our brains, and even in trees. The scales may be wildly different, but the patterns look strikingly similar, don't they? But if God is really always around us, could we somehow reach out and connect with Him? Well, you might be surprised to hear that the US government took the idea of observing God a little more seriously than you'd expect. In 2003, the CIA released a surprising document titled Analysis and Assessment of Gateway Process. While it's packed with technical jargon covering topics from quantum mechanics to biomedical models, theoretical physics, hypnosis, meditation, and even occultism, the most intriguing part is its focus on a method for contacting divine entities developed by Robert Monroe. In 1971, Monroe founded an institute dedicated to studying out-of-body experiences, altered states of consciousness, and exploring the boundaries of human potential. The researchers at the institute developed a unique approach called the gateway process, which allegedly allowed people to extend their consciousness beyond the physical world and communicate with God. Sounds pretty wild, right? But here's where it gets even stranger. In 1978, the US military began looking for new methods of observation, and suddenly Monroe's research became classified. Dozens of military officers were sent to explore the gateway process, and some even wanted to undergo the experience again after seeing its results. So what exactly were they studying? The declassified CIA document reveals a detailed algorithm that alters the frequency and amplitude of the brainwave activity between the brain's left and right hemispheres. This resonance shift supposedly allows the human consciousness to transcend the physical realm. Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? Because the left and right hemispheres of the brain serve very different functions, when they are fully synchronized, our consciousness can transcend the physical limits of the body. And remarkably, military personnel confirmed experiencing out-of-body states where the material world no longer held them back from accessing a deeper inner consciousness. In 2003, the CIA declassified the entire gateway process document, but there was a catch. They left out one crucial page. When the Monroe Institute was going through old documents, they found the missing page, and it revealed something extraordinary. God does exist. However, in this text, God is referred to as the absolute, a boundless conscious energy that can be everywhere, all the time, much like the way the Bible describes the Lord. So, does this mean the CIA was keeping our connection to the divine hidden all along? Could it be that the true essence of God has been there right in front of us all the time? And that's it for today's journey on Spaceverse. From ancient mysteries to modern science, there's always more to explore. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Until next time, stay curious, explorers.